In my experience, there is a very adversarial relationship between the attorney for the child and the parents. And I don't want it to be that way, and neither should the parent. And I just had this conversation with a parent that I think really exemplifies the fact that more often than not, we're on the same page. It was probably the nicest conversation I've had with a parent who did not support AFC involvement. It's very common for parents to object to judges appointing us to a case, to object to an attorney meeting with their children. And this parent, it was a mom, actually said to me, I didn't want my kids to meet with you. I didn't want them to talk with you, because she really doesn't want them involved in a court case. And what I said to her, and what I wish I could say to every parent who has that feeling, is we're on the same page with that. I don't want them involved in this either. I've said on here before, we do our best to have the children involved as little as possible. The whole reason I exist is so that kids don't have to go to court. More often than not, we're objecting to them testifying. We're objecting to them being asked certain questions. We're objecting to any unnecessary involvement in a court case because it's traumatic for a child, and trauma has a very different effect on the brain when your brain is still forming than it does on an adult, fully formed brain. So when she said, I don't want them to have to deal with this, I said, you and I agree on that. I know, I'm a court-appointed attorney. It's easy to assume that I'm the enemy, that I'm an outsider. But my job really is to protect the children. And sometimes it's necessary, right? Sometimes kids really want to be heard. And if a child says to me, I want the judge to hear what I have to say, I'm going to fight for that. I'm going to fight for that kid's right to be heard. But sometimes that's not the right choice. Sometimes what the child needs is to be protected from the litigation. Just because I'm a lawyer does not mean that I want children involved in the legal process. I'm ranting now, but all this was to say, I think a lot of that adversarial nature could be alleviated by the understanding that I don't want harm to come to these children either. And that includes the psychological harm of having to go through a legal proceeding.